know, man. Yeah, Lennox Lewis. Lennox, I'm coming for you.
Doesn't have us to separate
for this fight. I only trained probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks for this fight. I had to bury my best friend, and I dedicated this fight. I wasn't gonna fight. I dedicated this fight to him. I was gonna rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lennox is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impeccable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children. Praise be to Allah.
Are you saying now, Mike, the fight?
To fight me alone, I don't care whatever you say about me, good or bad, you gotta have heart to even get in the ring with. When he started around, I seen him all. He was too emotional. When I watched him, when he came in the ring, the first time I stepped in the ring, I looked at his face and I saw he was too emotional. I said, no way he's gonna win. I was telling my trainer, I said, he's gonna lose tonight. I walk around the ring, but I never take my eyes off my opponent. I keep my eyes on him, even if he's ready and pumping. He can't wait to get his hands on me as well. I keep my eyes on him, I keep my eyes on him, I keep my eyes on him. Then once I see a chink in his armor, boom, and one of his eyes may move, and then I know I have him. He still looks at me with his piercing look, and as if he's not afraid, but he already made that mistake when he looked down for that 1/10 of a second.
Hello. Despite an inability to communicate himself in a high-pitched voice, we can all feel it. That aura of contempt, that instinctive readiness to kill. We feel a malice that could snap at any moment resonating in his eyes, yet there are no emotions. When Mike enters the arena, his mind is free associative, his mind is in flow, cocktailed with this savage primal instinctiveness to hurt, ferocious, calm. And the emotions we feel are not his, but our own. We feel angry for feeling this way, defensive, fear, for we sense the presence of a true monster, thus innately our own testosterone spikes. When Mike had Cus D'Amato by his side, he truly was untouchable. Part 1. Psychological warfare. Mike was a master of psychological warfare. He knew the negative impact of having emotions flood your mind. They tax your energy reserves, making you stiff through cortisol, stifling the fluid snapping your shoulders, reducing your overall force and punching power. But more so than that, they make you hesitant in an arena that has no patience, zero forgiveness for even a moment of idleness. He understood this intuitively and in brilliance sought to sow the seeds of fear, anger, emotion into the hearts of his opponents. And in his mad dog mind saw it in their eyes. He saw the widening of their eyelids, exposing the whites of their eyes, reflexive to high amounts of cortisol, high amounts of tension. He knew. He smelled it, and it further pumped him up, often making forceful sexual comments to his opponents because the testosterone genuinely made him hard. His instinctive intent, testosterone flow state, they all went up, while his opponents all went down. We talk so much about how brilliant this man's punching power was, but because he had trouble expressing himself in words, we almost missed his devastating psychology. This man in the arena was an absolute terror inside and out. Part 2. Punch philosophy quotations from Mike. I always try to aim to the back of my opponent's head. Fantasize my punch going through them in and out of the back of their head. It sounds like a brutal sport, but it's just a technique. It's just an art. And when people hear you talk in this type of fashion, they think of you as some brutal monster. But it's all about the skill, the speed, the accuracy, and that's basically what I name my style after. People don't have the slightest idea of how hard it is to break somebody's jaw or eye socket. They think it's just the power, but it's the accuracy of the power. Every punch is thrown with bad intention and the speed of the devil. In football, there's a common technique taught to players to increase the overall power of their tackle. It's not to imagine your tackle hitting your opponent straight on, but to imagine your tackle going behind your opponent, that you're going through him. This has shown to increase the overall force of the tackle dramatically. Now, this could be because it reduces hesitation in the tackle, a placebo, or maybe something esoteric like the law of attraction. But one thing is for certain, Mike Tyson uses the same philosophy in his punches. He is imagining every single one of his punches going through his opponent's skull, which I'm certain is contributing to part of his power. On top of that, with a focus on speed and bad intention, He further ensures he holds nothing back with each blow. It truly is no wonder his opponents can't take it. It's no wonder one of his punches are equivalent to the average man swinging a baseball bat. Don't do this to your training partners. It's important not to kill each other as you help each other grow. Save it for the bag, the pads, and the arena. Part 3. Cus Yamato.
He's kept saying great things about it to this day. I didn't know this guy was great. He's kept saying great things. He said, man, you're a great fighter. He's kept me, you look great. You should do splendid. You look great. You're looking better. And he just kept giving me compliments and compliments about everything I did. So what's the wrong with this guy? I never had the slightest idea with building up my confidence. You know, it's totally intimidating fighting somebody in the ring. But I put myself together with the discipline I learned from Cus, and I went in the ring and I scored the 3rd round knockout.
Mike Tyson grew up in a very harsh environment. If boxing had not come into his life, he probably would have joined a gang to survive, inevitably dying as a pawn for some drug cartel. Despite what you think about the brutish nature of boxing, the brutish nature of Mike Tyson, it not only saved this man's life in a world that was full of racist fools, but it gave him one. Cus D'Amato was the cornerstone of all of that. Mike was initially emotionally fragile, but his coach, through decades of experience, knew one thing, that the most important part of any good fighter is self-confidence, their self-perception. And so as long as Mike Tyson was trying, he would always say, "You're doing great, Mike. Awesome work, Mike. You can do it, Mike." Even when his techniques were imperfect, even when he knew he would screw up the method, he would push him forward with positivity. And naturally, through practice, the perfection would come. When we look at Mike in his pride, he oozes in this aura of self-confidence, and we have Cus to thank for that. Cus, rest in peace. You were a good man who believed in a lost soul, and through it, forged a champion in a world that told him he'd be a failure. You may have bred a monster in the arena, but a soft father, full of love outside of it. And for this lesson, I too am eternally grateful to you. Mike Tyson, through hard work, forged the body of a beast. But we must never neglect the mind, for that is where it all stems. Mind forges body, and through the body, you forge the world before you. As you think, so shall you become. Bruce Lee. Thank you, Mike, and thank you, Cus, for this lesson. Thank you, everyone who watched this video. Please don't forget to smash that like button if you enjoyed. It's good karma. And until next time, peace.
Or someone else didn't try to think it was important for a diabetes patient to have all that attention. It's real. Okay? When my A1C was 7.5, my doctor flipped that screen on that PC and was like, okay, that's fine, I got your blood result. Yeah, it's HIV negative, we know that. Again, you know, you're STD free, we know that. Again, you always can test for that, you don't sit around, you gotta know about. This is what you need to worry about. Your A1C is 7.5. That's considered uncontrollable diabetes. Now I gotta send you over, get a referral, send you over to the specialist, make sure you're not going blind. I seen that Solano County Dermatology here in Fairfield Mall. You know what I mean? Over there with the old toys race, you be around Turtle Joe's, Solano County, diagnostics. I'm good. This was scared. I went from borderline to type 2. Then they had to send me over to make sure my kidneys wouldn't fail him. I don't want to be on dialysis. That was pretty close. If it wasn't for my Aunt Linda, or my boy homie Daniel, that's trying to support this fight cause, I'd be dead. There is no ifs, ands, buts about, you know why? Because I was dying. And I was still drinking. Dying all that. I didn't even know Cowboy Dave saved me on the alcohol part. King's Bottle, Kingdom Government. Kingdom Institution, my life coach, Eric Sabaus. If it weren't for him keep taking me in, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. Still alive. And don't want to push when you don't want to push, or humble yourself when you really don't want to humble yourself. But if you can survive Eric, you know you're in a good path. And Eric is the one who can get you to the right path. Kingdomship Institute, forever. I recommend that program for anyone that wants to be strong and become a man. Listen to Eric Sabaus, man. Listen to Toby. Listen. Don't listen to me. Listen to Toby. Listen to Eric. Yeah. He'll keep you alive. Sadly, we lost a homie. Sean kept going back and forth. I didn't know Sean Heron was gone. I didn't know he came back. Last time I saw Sean Heron, he was walking by Little Caesars. And he was talking to me. He was talking about he didn't want to stay on Grindr because he'd be fighting every day at some old rules, ain't whatever his brother was like. Him and now he gone. They found him dead in Frisco. Like Eric said, man, it's not gonna be green on the other side. You're gonna listen. And we support the cause, man. RPD. Never forgotten. Never forget. Now we'll fight. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight, buddy. We're gonna fight. We're gonna get that fight. Somebody out there shares the same belief I do. I pray he comes quick. I'm too much older. I'm 40 years old. I'll be 41 September 1st. My 80s baby. September 1st, 1980. The father of Isabella Victoria Williams. She's been adopted out. Or now her name is Isabella Jezebel Fika. She was kidnapped by her maternal grandparents. We took her all the way up to Sandpoint, Idaho. She was so far up in Idaho, she's up near Catalina. Sandpoint, Idaho, Bonner County, B-O-N-E-R County. Yeah, you ready? I'm just going to beg you.
I had an ego. I was never really jealous of anybody. I never really thought most of myself. But when I met Cuss and I started talking to Cuss, he made me believe that I was a god. There was nobody that could reach the core like Cuss could. No one could inspire me. Cuss would say this. Do you hear this? Because Cuss had really, he had this really megalomaniac ego. He said, let me tell you something. All the prophets, all the gods you ever know about, if they had a son, their son can be my fighter. So why? Because he's my fighter. Cuss was an interesting guy. He had the concept of fear down to a science. And most of his fighting was mostly psychological. He believed the physical actuality of boxing was only 10% when mine was 90%. He always believed in improving yourself and strengthening your mind. Some believed that the body only purpose was to carry your brain. Fighting was your opponent's surrender, his total destruction. And he didn't think of it as, even though he said it was savage and ferociously, you had to do it in such a relaxing, calm state. A really scientific way of destroying people. He enjoyed hurting the opponent. He wanted them to never have a chance to believe they could beat you. Everything was that I'm invincible, I'm a savage, I'm ferocious, I'm the smartest savage. A sophisticated animal, a smart animal, the lion and the fox. You know what I mean? I could beat the vicious guys, and I got smart the slickster. So I was pretty much didactyl in that apartment. Mostly books about war, Claude Von Clausewitz. And this is why Cuss read all those books. Cuss was pretty much an intellect. He was an intellectual and philosopher about war. And he thought fighting was a form of war. I wanted to make Cuss proud. That was my whole existence for fighting. I wanted to make him proud. If someone said something negative about me, he's the old man, he would attack them. He would do anything for me. Well, the peekaboo was really a cool style of boxing. And basically kept both your hands up, and you twist at your waist and you move, and you come forward, make the guy miss your counter punching. Pretty much he really discovered it from karate. You watch karate people do. You just move, you get to one position and punch with everything you got with very mean, ferocious intention. love the act of war. I love the players in war. I love the philosophy of war. And there's a quote in Machiavelli the French, and when they say, after you defeat the king, you cut off his head, you be audacious, and you say what you're going to do to the next ruler, and the next prince that you're going to conquer, and that allows them to be intimidated. Yeah, this is the moment I know I'm going to be watching two masters fight. After watching these guys,
I know you, Christine, baby.
I know.
Baby loves you, Christine.
The master technician. He was a street fighter like me. He was cruel and mean. I never looked at I respected Ali and I worshiped Ali, but he was very tall and very handsome, very short and not so handsome. He was very I don't know, articulate, and I spoke with a lisp. And I didn't relate to two besides we were black. Ali was a middle-class kid. His mother and father had both worked. My mother and father was in the sex industry. So my Roberta the grandmother was pretty much, out there as well. And so I related to that. And I didn't have to change. I didn't have to change my dictionary. I didn't have to learn how to talk. Polite. I didn't have to be nice. I didn't have to have a proper linguistic skill. And so, if he could be accepted and be worshipped that way, I thought I would be able to as well. After that fight, he pushed, and then he went to some other guy and he told him to suck his balls. You have to understand, I'm only 14 years old when these guys fought. This is 1980, so I'm 14 years old, and I just thought that was the most remarkable person in the world. I was born with great perception. If it came from my street life, from being locked up for stealing and facing unbelievable odds as a young kid, I had great perception. And once I watched these guys fight, I just knew it was a matter of time, but I knew my time would soon come. So Reggie Rose is a real tough guy. He's a spoiler. He beat a lot of undefeated fighters. And everybody thought he was going to go at least 10 rounds with me and give me a tough fight. I have to move my hand. I have to be very elusive. And I know I want to hurt him desperately. I want to dismantle him. Watch this. Watch my head. When this is over, everybody's going to know my name. And the people that I fight after him, they're going to fear me. And that's pretty much how my reign consists of just fear. And on occasion, some guys like him, who's a tough guy, they would try to fight back. And that was just allow me to excel at an extremely high level. I never wanted to be obscure. I was born in obscurity. I never wanted to feel that again. I know I wanted to attain my goal before it existed. I knew that. I knew I would be champ of the world before I died. I knew I wasn't going to die before I became champ.
Then when I did that, I did it just because of Google.
Which is disappointed that I didn't kill him that shit. That was just my main objective, because I wanted to succeed so bad, and I failed. To see him not succeeding was worse than dying. So I just wanted to make sure he never got up.
That's why I got my refund back yet.
Our world was winning and good people and looking spectacular doing it. It wasn't about anything. Our whole life wasn't about making money. It wasn't about being rich.
I tried to put that one on my gut too,
and nobody on the planet could beat us. That was everything. My whole life was best fight in the world, best fight in the world. There's nobody on the planet that could beat me. There could be anybody on the planet in a fair fight, and that's what I always believed. How many people in this planet? That's what, around 5 billion people, 6 billion? I thought I could beat every one of them in a fair fight.
He's got $40 on me right now to go pay for my gym dues for the boxing gym.
I must be a descendant of the three warriors of old, on guard the war, because I'm winning with the most simple of these. How could these guys even dare fight me? I must be ordained by God. Dying is just as glorious as living when you think about it, because you couldn't have a life if you didn't have death, and you couldn't have death without life. So how can death be less glorious than life? They're both completely with one another.
Did you know there was a government-funded education grant that could deposit up to $38,070 directly into your bank account? Yeah, that's right. Anyone who is unemployed or currently makes less than $80,000 a year may qualify. If you're tired of living...
Oh,